One spring day, high in the Capitan Mountains of New Mexico, a brown bear cub and his mother went for a stroll in the woods. The forest was warm and dry, but alive with the smells and sounds of the season. Blue jays and swallows sang high in the lush green trees. Rabbits and mice scampered through flowery meadows. Squirrels and chipmunks scurried straight up the trunks of fragrant pines. The cub was just 3 months old and weighed only 4 pounds, but he was very clever. He had already learned where to find berries and honey to eat and fresh water to drink. He also knew what to do in case of danger, climb a tree, and that is what saved his life. The cub and his mother had not walked far when panic broke out around them. Birds began screeching and flying in all directions. Rabbits rushed out into the open. Deer leapt left and right around the trees. The forest had caught fire, and the fire was coming their way. The bear nudged her cub and both began to run. The smoke grew thicker and thicker. Fiery cinders filled the sky. The little cub ran until he could run no more. Finally, he stopped to look for his mother. She was gone. In the confusion, she had lost sight of him. For the first time in his life, the little cub was alone and scared. What should he do? Then he remembered what his mother had taught him. When in danger, climb a tree. So he climbed into a tall tree. He wrapped his legs around the trunk. The frightened cub closed his eyes and clung tightly. Below him, the fire roared on. Meanwhile, forest rangers fought the dreadful flames. The fire was so big that foresters called in a special troop of firefighting soldiers to help them. One of the firefighters noticed a small bear cub in a tree. Before the firefighters could reach the cub, a blast of fire cut off their path. They hit the ground and covered their faces until the flames blew over. The fire roared around the tree where the little bear clung. It singed his fur and burned his paws, but he held on. Finally, the fire passed, and the cub opened his eyes. The trees in his forest were now black and leafless. The air felt dark and greasy. The birds and animals all had gone. Then the cub heard a strange sound and saw a strange creature. Gently the creature, a man, pulled him from the charred tree trunk. The bear cub had never seen a human before. "What's your name, little fella?" the man asked as the smoke rose all around them. "I think Smokey is a very good name for you." The firefighter brought Smokey to a game warden named Ray Bell. Mr. Bell took care of wounded animals. He knew just what to do. First he took Smokey to see Dr. Smith, who bandaged the cub's burned leg and paws. Then Mr. Bell brought Smokey home to his family. Mrs. Bell, 4-year-old Judy, and even their cocker spaniel Jet welcomed the little cub. Smokey had a new family and a new home. Everyone in the family helped Smokey recover. Mrs. Bell fed him oatmeal and honey and nursed him back to health. Judy cheered him up with games and cuddles. And Jet let Smokey curl up beside him and eat his dish. In a few short weeks, Smokey was strong and healthy. The little bear who had lost his home and family was going to be all right. The Bell family and other game wardens knew that Smokey's experience could serve as an important lesson to others. The story of what had happened to Smokey's home in the Capitan Mountains could help teach children how to prevent forest fires. But the job meant moving Smokey to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. So the Bells said goodbye to their special friend, and Smokey boarded an airplane with his name on it. By the time Smokey got to Washington, people all over the country had heard the story of the forest fire and the rescue of the little bear. His picture appeared in newspapers nationwide. Smokey Bear was a national hero. Later, when Smokey had grown up, 2 other bears joined him in the National Zoo. Goldie and Little Smokey had been orphaned by forest fires too. Smokey can be seen on posters, stamps, and in parades. He appears at fairs and rodeos and also visits schools. All over the country, children and their families have learned how to prevent forest fires and how to be friendly to wildlife. Smokey's message about preventing forest fires is as simple as ABC. Always hold matches until they are cold. Be sure to drown all fires and stir the ashes to make sure they are out. Crush out all cigarettes in ashtrays.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Hello, boys and girls. Today I'm going to sketch Smokey the Bear for you. And this is for to help you with the poster contest that you'll all be participating in. When I start with Smokey, I always begin with his hat. And I think of his hat as a big plate, big dinner plate. And on that plate, I put a birthday cake. Right in the middle of the birthday cake, setting on the plate, I go straight up from there and I draw a line. And then from the sides of the cake, I draw a line up to that, up to this. If I put little marks in there like that, it looks like a mountain or a circus tent. A line across here will make his head bend. His ears go almost out to the edge of the hat on both sides. Smokey has a large round face, so we'll start to sketch his face in from here, around here, his nose protrudes out from his face, so when we're looking straight on, I'm going to draw a large dome, sort of like an igloo, right in the middle of his face. In the middle of that, underneath, I'll put his mouth and we'll give him a lip. His nose is shaped like an umbrella. Does that look like an umbrella? It looks like an umbrella to me. Sort of like a dog nose. Bears have a big nose. They have really good smelling. They can smell. Their sense of smell can go miles and miles. Smokey's eyes can go on either side. I'll just draw a line here and over here to sort of start to position his eyes, and something like that. We can have him looking off to the side. If he looks off to the side, you don't see the whole circle of the eye. He sort of is looking off this way. He's looking straight forward, you'd see the full circle. He has big, bushy eyebrows. Smokey has lots of, he's really hairy. So see, it's not so important that you're real careful when you do his ears or make those lines. The lines are just guidelines to start to fill in for his shape. And you can put hair on him everywhere except on his nose, because his nose doesn't have hair on. I like to make him really scraggly. And we can bring his eyes in even a little bit more if we want to. Smokey's doesn't have a neck, so his shoulders will come right out from his head. You can always mix a little bit of black in with the brown, because his hair is really dark. He's mostly brown. And then his name, of course, goes up here. Smokey. I like to make the letters nice and bold so you can see them and read them from a distance. The lettering on the poster is supposed to say, "Only you can prevent wildfires." And there you have Smokey the Bear. I know you boys and girls can do much better than this. And take your time, make a good poster, and surprise the teacher and the garden club with your Smokey the Bear poster this year. Good luck, everyone. Thank you.